Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value, and in this particular clip, I'm showing what I think are the strongest opportunities that I look at charts. This is just random companies. I'm going to show you why I think they're strong. When you do charting, and your approach should be something similar to this. You find the undervalued sector through ratios. So what I'm looking at a lot of commodity type companies. Commodities are at 100-year lows. So commodity type companies are very cheap in relationship to stocks and are at 100-year lows against stocks. So I'm looking at the commodity sector in general. Then I'm looking in those sectors and doing ratios within them. They're almost all cheap. Copper, uranium, rare earth metals, lithium, it goes on and on and on. But the metals are for surely cheap. I don't know how necessarily the lithium pricing, but I do have a lithium one in here. The rare earths are a little bit different too, but they're definitely moving on up from their bottoms. So these are some companies that I think look pretty good. And again, this is just financial education. It is not financial advice. You guys have to do your own due diligence and check into the companies to make sure that it fits with your strategy. So let's pop in here. Look at some companies that I really like right now, and some ETF. There's an ETF. So the ETF I really like is REMX, and I'm not trying to push this on anybody, all right? You guys can do whatever you want. You can use this for educational purposes to see the setup and how I approached it. So my approach here is I'm looking at this from a short-term view, and a short-term view for me is 6-7 months. And this short-term approach shows me in the short term that we're breaking out of this pattern here. We had a consolidation move downward to sideways. We formed a pennant formation and we broke that pennant to the upside here. I bought on this day and I was also buying inside here. And why did I do that? If you look at this point on, you see these large down candlesticks. They're everywhere and they're larger than the up candlesticks. We have a bullish piercing pattern here saying we are going to head higher. We moved higher, and what I'm looking for now is basically the size of the candlesticks for the up days in relationship to the size of the candlesticks on the down days. And what we see is this point over here, we see large down and up candlesticks, and we are seeing the candlestick body lengths contract in size. They're getting smaller as we move to the right, but the up candlesticks are larger than the down ones. So this right here in May 24th, from this point on, the buyers gained control, and that's when I started betting that REMX was going to move to the upside. When it broke to the upside, I added more money. So I created about half a position size here, and then I put in my other half here on the confirmed breakout. That's how I played it. Now we're moving on higher, and it's looking very good for a breakout. Now this very well could do one of these little like S moves, but sometimes they just fly higher. We'll see. Now, the next step I do, since I know on the short term it looks good, I back out and I look at the medium term. The medium term looks great. We've got this nice big basing pattern down here. It broke to the upside, and it created this other very large pattern here and broke that to the upside. Then I back out even more. When you back out more, it's basically in this gigantic accumulation phase. And we've come across, if you draw this line in here, you have a cup and handle pattern, which is massive. The cup and handle pattern price projection is off this chart. And we broke to the upside of this. It's looking fantastic to me. We've got lots of volume. I would say this volume is accumulating it on the way up. And we just broke out of this accumulation phase with a cup and handle pattern. Looks excellent to me. That's about as good as you can get. You've got alignment on the long term, medium term, and short term, all in alignment. And that's when you really start to make money, is when you find that alignment. LAC is another company that looks pretty good. It broke to the upside of its downwards wedge pattern. Moving on up, it went sideways a little bit. People lose interest in it. And this is usually a low risk entry point anywhere in this area here. Because you already broke to the upside, it's just kind of moving sideways, and then you'll probably see this thing take off very soon. Or, I mean, right now it's up 9.4%, but a uptrend type move. Here's LAC Lithium Americas on a medium term. So we already looked at this right-hand side of it. That was the previous chart. And we've got this downtrend line that was broken. It broke to the upside in 2020. COVID dragged it down. And here's another thing I want to make sure you guys understand. COVID dragged this down, but it didn't stop the move. The move, since it broke out and was ready to move higher, came down for an incredible buying opportunity at they probably did this on purpose, if you really want to know, in some of these sectors. COVID might have been done on purpose so banks could reposition. Who knows? And then we just shot higher massively. And this is a big move from $2 almost all the way to $28. That'd be a nice move there. And then we're consolidating. And right now, I think we're going to make another possible move higher. And then on a very big term picture, this thing looks fantastic. So you draw this guy across, you draw this guy up, it's got higher lows. It doesn't have to be perfect. What you're looking for are higher lows stepping into a resistance line. It broke to the upside, pulled back. Well, we had one pullback. We broke up again, pulled back again to the 50-day. And the price projected move on this is way off the chart. It's way up here. So this one looks good from an alignment basis as well. So lithium is in REMX. So I was looking at some of these companies in lithium. Now here's Rare Element Resources. We're looking at it from the short-term view. We had a nice impulse move higher here. We had a nice sell-off, kind of sideways action. But what I'm looking for are large up days and small down days. Remember that. What do we have right here? Big up day, small little pullback. Bigger up days, small little pullback. Big up day, and then we're just in this dead period, just moving sideways. I think this one could potentially move higher very soon, and I think the downside risk isn't too bad. Now, if you're trading this, you put a stop loss underneath here, and you try to get somewhere close to here and see if this thing moves higher. I'm not a trader, but that's how I would do it. I'd put it right under this support. Maybe at the 200-day or so, but I think this thing is ready to move higher. It looks very good for a pop higher. How long and sustaining the pop higher, we'll have to look at the other charts. So here is the long term on that one, or medium term. Sorry, this is a medium term. We're definitely in an uptrend here. It is moving on up in an uptrend. It's pulled back. You can see these things kind of consolidate. It could fake some people out moving down, but it looks pretty good. And then on a super long-term basis, we are in an uptrend move. We have bottomed. We broke this big downtrend line, and we're moving in an uptrend move. So it would be a continuation move to the upside potentially. And from a very, very long-term perspective, we do have some resistance here. That's what we're looking for. Most likely a lot of the resistance has been sold out, but it did bounce on that and sell off kind of hard. And we could be putting in kind of like a handle type pattern before a big move upward. And remember, this is a small little company. This isn't something that you want to bet the farm on. MP Materials, this one's looking pretty good if you like rare earth metals in America. It's an American company. Moving on up, you can tell here something changed. Bearish engulfing, bearish piercing. This is a top here, pulling on back. And then right here, you can notice a change. Bullish, kind of a bullish, almost a bullish piercing, not quite. So we came up, and now it's all large up days and small down days. You see that? The way that looks, I think this is going to continue higher. It looks good. We got Nova Royalty putting in whatever it ended up. I don't know if it ended at 15%, but it was up 9, 10, 11%. But it's looking pretty good. That's what you want to see. You want to see the buyer step in here, push this higher, create a large candlestick up, a couple of up days. Maybe it pulls back a little bit, and then we head higher. But you got to start with buyers stepping in here and buying the company. So this looks like a very good start for a potential, downtrend reversal to hopefully an uptrend reversal. So that's what I'm seeing, kind of some random companies going over them. Rare earths, lithium. There's other companies that you guys can look and chart yourselves for if you like them. But a lot of these, they look very good. Uptrends, break in patterns. I mean, that's what I look for. These I consider to be ultra strong patterns in full alignment of short-term, medium-term, and long-term. That is the best setup that you can potentially have because of the alignment. Now, does this mean that it will automatically go up? No, but it gives you the highest chance of success from a technical standpoint. And the fundamentals of these, I mean, we're going to need lithium. They've got shortages coming up of lithium, rare earth metals. We're going to need a lot of rare earth metals. A lot of it's made in China. REMX has substantial investments in China where they have lithium and cobalt and all that stuff. It's basically almost a battery, metal play. And I like that. And that's why I chose that ETF. But you guys, do whatever works for you. I'm just sharing this on the channel so you guys can all see this. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.